from Dar es Salaam, this is TBC News, our top stories. Dr. Samia says funds for development should solve societal challenges. World Bank report announces Tanzania is among the fastest growing economies in Africa.
We have removed and reduced some of the so-called nuisance fees and levies.
Good evening, I am Teddy Imparanyanga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel TBC Online and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and Twitter pages at TBC Online. President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan says government funds provided for the implementation of development projects are not for personal gains. President Dr. Samia was addressing Kilwa District residents on her official visit in Lindi and insisting that the funds should solve real challenges facing the people. Here's a report by Martina Ngulumbi, read by Faidangaga.
President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan arrives at the strategic project for the construction of a fishing harbour in Kilwa District to lay the foundation stone and hand over fishing boats and their equipment. Speaking to the residents of Kilwa District, President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan says the funds provided by the government should solve the challenges of the people.
Sasa ndugu zangu wa Kilwa, kwa mtiririko huu wa fedha zinavyokuja.
My fellow citizens, the way the money is brought to your district, if Kilwa District does not change, you'll have to ask yourself why, since on the side of the government, we are trying our best to provide enough money, and I want you to know that the aim is to reduce the level of poverty and challenges faced by citizens, and for the leaders, you should not take advantage of it.
Hizi fedha haziletwi viongozi mjinufaishe ili zende zikatatue changamoto na adha kwa wananchi.
And here President Dr. Samia asks fishermen to stop practicing dynamite fishing.
Naambiwa hapa wanakilwa mnatumia baruti sana.
I'm told here that you are practicing illegal fishing, but you have to know that this kind of fishing has led you to find fish from afar. And if you still use the same fishing method, you'll find no fish in the main ocean in the future. So I call on everyone responsible for this to manage it more closely.
Kwa hiyo niwaombe sana wale wanaosimamia sekta ya uvuvi hapa Kilwa. Simamieni hilo.
Ujenzi wa bandari ya Kilwa wenye gharama ya jumla ya shilingi bilioni 280 takriban.
The construction of the Kilwa port cost a total of 280 billion, which includes 266 billion that will be used to pay the contractor and 13 billion that will pay the project consultant, and this show your intention and sincere commitment to raise the fishing industry.
Ya kuinua sekta ya uvuvi kama ni sekta iwe ni kielelezo, kwa kuwa tuna maji mengi sana ambayo yanapaswa kuchangia vyema kabisa katika pato la taifa letu.
Tuna mradi mkubwa wa maji katika miji 28 na sie Kilwa tumenufaika.
We have one big water project in 28 areas where Kilwa has also benefited through it. Kilwa Kivinje and Kilwa Masoko are among those, and the other 9 villages will also be beneficiaries of that project where the constructor is already on site.
As President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan is about to conclude her visit to the Lindi region, she has vowed to work on all the challenges presented by the residents of the region.
The World Bank report shows that Tanzania's economy in 2023 is expected to grow by 5.1% from 4.6% in 2022, supported by improved business climate and the implementation of structural reforms. This was stated in Dar es Salaam on the launch of the 19th edition of the World Bank report on the Tanzania Economic Update and the efficiency and effectiveness of fiscal policy in Tanzania. Rahema Fesababili has more.
Following the launch of the 19th edition of the World Bank report on the Tanzania Economic Update, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba, has said that the findings indicate that Tanzania has performed well in a number of areas that have been studied, including the improvement in the inflation rate, the positive trend of funding development projects, the nation's adequate foreign currency reserve, and improved local tax collection.
Through implementation of the blueprint for regulatory reforms, we have removed and reduced some of the so-called nuisance fees and levies, and the revenue collection has improved in absolute terms though still below the annual target. In 2022-2023, the tax revenue collection grew by 8%, while the actual collection was around 2.6% below the target.
Boosting the productivity of value-added tax, personal income tax, and corporate income tax are critical efforts towards enhancing revenue mobilization. This requires reforms to expand the tax base through further adoption of digital technologies, to increase taxpayer registration, lower the VAT threshold, and reduce compliance.
System from informal businesses as well as a strengthening manufacturing sector with the aim of getting better results in the economy.
Relationship and link between the taxes that they are paying with the services that are being delivered. So as the report proposes, increasing transparency on how these resources are being generated and how they're actually used, and the outcome that the people see will increase reciprocal obligation, making it easy for people to increase their willingness to pay taxes easier, compliance to become easier.
I think what we are facing currently, because our tax base is narrow, so our analytics is limited based on what we have within our tax base. But if we are able to invite more people within the tax base, we'll be able to analyze more and design our tax system to capture more from more people.
However, the report showed that global growth is projected to slow significantly in 2023 as the continued monetary tightening constrains the credit supply. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Rehema Sababili, TBC News.
Thank you, Rehema Sababili. And on to the next news. Tanzania has succeeded in eradicating neglected diseases in 112 out of 119 districts, including mumps and eye diseases. Here's a report by Henry Mabumo, read by Kanki Mwaigomole.
It is the 14th annual Neglected Tropical Disease NNN conference, for the first time being held in Tanzania and involving non-government organizations that are fighting the neglected diseases from more than 54 countries around the world. Representing President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, Deputy Minister of Water, Engineer Mary Priska Mahundi, says some of the tradition and customs hinder the fight against the neglected diseases, especially in the livestock keeping community.
Tayari madaktari wetu wameweza kufanya kazi kubwa.
Our doctors have been able to do a great job of eliminating the problem of mumps and palmpox in 112 districts. The Ministry of Health has managed to take a huge step in eliminating diseases that were being neglected. We have also managed to reach trachoma patients in 60 districts out of the 68 districts.
When Africa has a certain special problems due to the tropical nature of Africa, I have come here to see you deliberate something memorable for my late daughter, and particularly on this issue of an organization that will continue to save Africa and the world to mitigate the diseases which my daughter spent her life fighting against.
Kujifunza vitu vingi kutoka nchi mbalimbali namna ambavyo wanapambana na huu ugonjwa wa NTD.
We will get the opportunity to learn a lot from different countries, like the fight against neglected tropical diseases, growth of cooperation and investment in Tanzania and the world at large.
Many countries around the world have eliminated at least one neglected tropical disease, which is a huge achievement, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
The Minister of Industry and Trade, Dr. Shatu Kijaji, calls on Tanzanian and Turkish business communities to collaborate in boosting trade between the two nations. In the year 2021, Tanzania's exports to Turkey totaled $37.6 million, while Turkish imports into the nation were worth $500 million from $4.55 million in 1995 until the year 2022. Rehema Sababiri has more.
Meeting with the purpose of showcasing products and establishing commercial partnership. While officially opening the two-day meeting, Dr. Ashatu Kijaji, the Minister of Trade and Industry, says Tanzania is a business gateway with a variety of opportunities in the agricultural, manufacturing and tourism sector.
There are a lot of opportunities that are ahead of us. We really need to make it. With Turkish export together with us, with all the collaborators as written here. If really we are to decide, I'm sure we will make also Tanzania export to Turkey move from what we have today, $37.6 million to over $1,000 million. It is in our hands.
On the other hand, the Turkish ambassador to Tanzania recommends to the Tanzanian business community that they should maximize on the Turkish market, which can also act as the gateway to reach European markets.
We know that there are so much raw products in Tanzania, and in Turkey also we produce a lot of goods from automotive to the machinery to the construction materials, which we can really complement in each other. We believe that why we can't reach to at least $1 billion, and then we can do more. And Turkey's strategical location is very important to reach Europe, to reach Middle East, to reach North Africa, to reach Central Asia, and also Caucasus. And we know Tanzania's position is also very important for the locked countries. It is a hub.
Some of the members of the Tanzanian business community says they're ready to capitalize on the business opportunities in Turkey due to the country's advancements in technology.
And the important thing which I see Tanzania can take from Turkish is technology. Turkish have got a lot of technology from Europe. We can take that technology to our country. So I urge my brothers, business community from Tanzania to learn and to take the opportunity very seriously.
We are here to actually be able to interact directly with business owners, to see the business opportunities and to be able to see if we'll be in a position to either leverage what the kind of products they have to our markets and send out and also share our products to their market.
We would like to start in Tanzania, make some investment in Tanzania to start a new collaboration between Turkey and Tanzania in the military garment industries.
Gold and raw tobacco are among the Tanzanian products exported to Turkey, where the countries also import technology and building materials. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Rehema Sababili, TBC News.
The Minister of State, Vice President Office, Union and Environment, Selemani Jafo, has directed industrial owners and all citizens to conduct cleaning and planting trees regularly and not to rely on the government to do everything in their areas. He was launching the cleaning week organized by the Temeke District Council as a precautionary measure against the effects that may be caused by the upcoming El Nino rains that are expected to start in October this year. Emmanuel Samuel was there and has prepared the following report.
Recently, the Tanzania Meteorological Authority TMA has warned against the possible heavy rains starting from October that may affect various places in some regions, including Dar es Salaam. As a result, Temeke District Council has launched an ambitious cleaning campaign in various areas of the district, led by the Minister of Environment, Dr. Selemani Jafo, who urges the citizens and industrial owners to clean their areas to avoid disasters that the rains may cause.
Kama kuna kipande cha mfereji mbele ya nyumba yako, una kila sababu ya kukisafisha kipande hicho cha mbele ya nyumba yako.
If there is a piece of canal in front of your house, you have every reason to clean that piece of canal, and for the owners of factories and companies, that every owner of his company has a responsibility to make it present in front of him, and according to the statistics, as I said earlier, a lot of rain will come and we have every reason to make sure our environment is clean.
Minister Jafo emphasized that the project to protect the road infrastructures and canals has costed the government a lot of money, hence there is a need to protect them.
The The money that we put at the government in the River Ngombe and the money allocated for the Keko and Kijichi Canal is a lot of money, and that this is the Kijichi Canal that takes water to the sea, and it must be clean. We ask the citizens when we are roasting corn to throw husk in the canal that the canal are blocked, and if they are blocked, it will destroy the infrastructure of the road.
The district's leaders, led by the District Commissioner Mobare Matinyi, explained their strategies they have put in place to manage the campaign, while some citizens who participated in the campaign have their comments.
We
are very grateful to you for coming to encourage us and support us and give us guidance on how this work is done. We are going to implement this cleanliness strategy, Mr. Minister, and from the beginning we will start with 2 consecutive weeks of cleaning to ensure that our areas are clean, but also to uncover ditches. Whether it is a daily habit that when a person wakes up, he can wash his face and brush his teeth and know that the environment effects her to get a great extent.
Emmanuel Samuel, TBC News.
A Spanish thoracic surgeon, Dr. Diego Gonzalez Rivas, in collaboration with Muhimbili National Hospital, has successfully operated on 3 people who had lung-related diseases using modern, minimally invasive thoracic surgery. The Director of Surgical Services of Muhimbili National Hospital, Dr. Rachel Muhavile, says the surgery helps the patient to recover quickly and resume his duties within a short period. Here's a report by Eva Sindika, read by Kanki Magomole.
A Spanish thoracic surgeon in collaboration with Muhimbili National Hospital have successfully operated on 3 patients at the hospital, and here the head of surgery at the hospital elaborates on the operation.
Dr. Diego Gonzalez, this is a globally known thoracic surgeon. Actually, is the founder of this advanced thoracic surgery that's called Uniportal VAT. Has been working in various parts in the world, and this is the first time to have him in our hospital. We have planned to do about 3 to 4 patients today, depending on the time. Therefore, we as a hospital, actually, we are going to benefit more as we impart knowledge to the local doctors. And in the near future, we'll start to operate ourselves and to adapt this kind of advanced thoracic surgeries in our hospital.
The Director of Surgery at the hospital, Dr. Rachel Muhavile, and the head of the surgery department say the surgical technology enables the patient to recover quickly from the injury and return to his or her duties quicker.
Why this surgery? Why now? Because in the focus of the national hospital, or the focus of the public hospitals and the national hospital, is to have specialized and super specialized procedures, whether it's operations and services. This will enhance what we are doing, and since we are actually gearing into medical tourism, this is one thing that will really give us mileage by having surgeries that are having short hospital stay. So with these few words, what I'm really thrilled, and I'm looking forward to more and more surgeries to be done in this way. So now today we only have like 3 to 4 surgeries we're doing. Not that these are the only patients. There are so many patients on the waiting list, but then among the selected few today, because Dr. Diego does not have too much time, he has selected the 3 that we're going to do today, and then later on we will plan more camps with more patients to be done.
The government has allocated more than 70 billion shillings to improve the Lodwale-Serengeti Road infrastructure within the Ngorongoro Reserve area to reduce challenges related to transport for tourists, as well as to open new tourist areas. Speaking during the visit of the Association of Tour Guides in the country, TTGA, the Deputy Commissioner of the Ngorongoro Reserve Authority, Elbariki Bajuta, says the volcanic soil and an increase in the number of tourists have become a challenge. Here is a report by Sechelela Kongola, read by Lulua Mohammed.
Despite the challenges of poor road infrastructure in the Lodwale-Serengeti Road, Within the Ngorongoro Conservation Area, tour guides praises the Ngorongoro Conservation Authority for their efforts to ensure that the infrastructure is always passable.
If the roads continue to be like this, I think we'll have more tourists. These roads are tiresome for tourists. Yesterday I passed here. The road was bad, but today I see an effort has been made.
The leadership of the Association of Tour Guides in the country here talk about the measures taken by the authority of the Ngorongoro Conservation Area.
The effort that Ngorongoro has made today has given us hopes that they have a plan to build roads in long term.
The Ngorongoro Conservation Authority identifies plans to promote tourism, including improving the road infrastructure.
We might label this road as one of the difficult ones. A contract has been signed with a contractor, of which we shall start the construction of 29.5-kilometer roads. First, we wanted to start with the construction of Lodwari to Senator roads, but we shall start with the Gorini to Olduvai, because it is where tourists have a lot of difficulties traveling through the rough roads.
The issue of celebrating World Tourism Day on September 27 was mentioned.
Looking anxious for the 27th of this month, we are the stakeholders of tourism, together with the media, shall join hands to climb this mountain. The aim is to promote it, as well as other products that are in the park. We'll be organizing a lot of activities.
Located north of Tanzania's major city, Dar es Salaam, Mbudia Island is the ideal place to go if you want to escape the hassles of Dar es Salaam. This is due to its white sand beaches and turquoise ocean. The beaches on this island are great for swimming, snorkeling, and tanning. Paithangaga has more.
This is Mbudia Island, one of the most spectacular tourist destinations in Dar es Salaam. Travelers get a peek of the vibrant urban life of the nation when they land at the usually hectic city of Dar es Salaam. However, Mbudia Island is a perfect destination for vacations and picnics, as visitors will get enough time to relax and enjoy the beauty of the marine life. This island can be reached by ferry or a local speedboat from Dar es Salaam city. Boats are accessible every half an hour, all day long, and the trip usually lasts around 20 minutes. The beach is a must-visit location for travelers who want to rest and relax away from the stresses of daily life due to its isolation and calmness. Visitors can take in the breathtaking view of the pristine ocean, rich flora, bright blue sky, and sandy beaches. Even though Mbudia Island is an inhabited place, visitors can get all the basic needs here. Enjoy the beautiful Mbudia Island with a turquoise ocean and a spectacular calm aura.
Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look on today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news compiled by Dorothy Mari and read to you by Paithangaga.
World leaders are meeting at the annual United Nations General Assembly in New York, United States. The war in Ukraine, climate change, and sustainable development are high on the agenda as representatives of nearly 200 countries come together. Residents of the eastern Libyan city of Derna have protested against local authorities more than a week after heavy floods killed thousands in the city. The protesters criticized the leader of eastern Libyan parliament, Aguila Saleh, and local authorities that they blamed for the floods that have killed thousands of people. In a joint statement, the protesters say they wanted speedy investigations into the disaster and legal action against the leaders responsible. They also demanded compensation, investigations into the city's finances, and the rebuilding of Derna. Several experts and humanitarian organizations have suggested that the floods could have been averted if local authorities evacuated residents or at least communicated the warnings about Storm Daniel. Experts have also said that the neglect of the city's dam by authorities led to their bursting and the unleashing of floodwaters. Fighting between the two rival factions of the Sudanese military has spread to the Red Sea city of Port Sudan for the first time in 5 months of conflict. Sudanese soldiers exchanged fire with members of a tribal militia group which calls itself the Forces of the Eastern Sudan Parties and Movements Alliance. Port Sudan hosts the country's only functioning airport. The city is also where some government officials and United Nations agencies have relocated amid the fighting in the capital Khartoum and elsewhere in the country.
That was international news. Sports news up next. In sports news, Young Africans head coach Miguel Gamondi says his squad is ready to outclass Namungo FC in the upcoming Tanzania Premier League match and got all the 3 points to straighten their lead in the table. Head coach Gamondi adds that they know Namungo FC is a good team, but they will use all the tactics to beat them as they want to retain the league title this season.
I believe in my players. I respect a lot the other team, and you know how is football. The first 2 league games, we beat 5-5, and the other team, they coming to prevent this, maybe, no? And they want to show they are good. And maybe it will be a very difficult, very tough game tomorrow. Because I'm sure the other team come determined to make a good game.
Kitu muhimu ni kuingia kwenye mechi na
The important thing is to play the game without being afraid. After 90 minutes, there are results that may happen. But we want those results to happen if we have done everything in our possibility to have a good game.
Tumefanya kila kitu kiko ndani ya uwezo wetu kwa kusema tuwe na mchezo mzuri.
Young African host Namungo FC in the third round match of Tanzania Premier League at Chamazi Stadium, while in a good shape following their win against Sudanese champions El Marek in CAF Championships League by 2-0 in Rwanda. The Vice President of Tanzania Tennis Association, Rajab Bori, calls on regional association leaders and coaches to prepare the team ready for national champions competition to improve players' performance. Speaking to a TBC News reporter in Dar es Salaam, Bori urges leaders and coaches to train their players before competition so that they display quality performance for the benefit of the national teams.
The importance of this tournament is to spread tournament in all of Tanzania. We are here to lead from all the associations, from Tanzania Tennis Association, Coaches Association, all together. We came together and we want more kids to come to play this tournament for their own good and also for the coaches to understand their work. If you teach somebody, you want them to get a test. This is a test for them.
The National Tennis Championship competition is scheduled to take place on September 23rd at Gymkhana Tennis Court in Dar es Salaam. That is sports news, and now before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello, I'm Amina Saleh from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. Welcome to 24 hours weather forecasting starting from tonight. The minimum temperature are expected to be cooler over the western part of the country, and the minimum temperature is expected to be 10 over Njombe region. Parts of Lake Victoria Basin, which include Kagera, Mwanza, and Mara are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers over few areas. And the rest part of the country are expected to feature partly cloudy conditions. And for tomorrow, over the northern coast, the wind is expected to blow at the speed of 30 km per hour, and the state of the sea is expected to be moderate. Over the southern coast, the wind is expected to blow at the speed of 20 km per hour, and the state of the sea is expected to be slight. And over the major lakes, the wind is expected to blow at the speed of 20 km per hour, and the state of the lakes are expected to be slight. Parts of Lake Victoria Basin, which include Kagera, Geita, Mwanza, and Mara, are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers over few areas, and sun period. And the same weather is expected over Kigoma. Over Tanga and islands of Unguja and Pemba are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, light rain showers over few areas, and sun period. And the rest parts of the country are expected to feature partly cloudy conditions. Now let's have a look on 4 days weather forecasting. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, thanks for watching and have a good night.
And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Teddy Mparinyanga. Have a lovely, lovely night.